Hello everybody and welcome back to today's video. So this one is going to be pretty sad. It is about the case of a young girl named Masumi Watanabe. And I want to say very quickly, so the way that I did the research on this case is that there was quite a bit of information. But typically when there's a lot of information in a case, I feel myself getting really overwhelmed. And so the way that I have done this case is that a lot of it is going to be in the format of a timeline. So I'm going to give you the dates and some information to go with it, and then just some other information towards the end that's not in timeline format. I've done this before in a couple videos where it was just a lot, and for my own sake and for your own sanity, it was just easier for me this way. I do want to say that a lot of information, including the timeline, did come from Masumi's website that was set up after this case happened, or during this case, I should say. And that will be linked down below if you would like to see her website. But other than that, all the links I used for research will be down below, like always. And let's go ahead and get into this. So I really couldn't find much about Masumi's life or her hobbies or anything like that, but I did find a decent amount on the case, like I was saying. Masumi was a Japanese citizen who was visiting Hawaii in the spring of 2007. She was staying with a distant relative on the island of Oahu, and she was volunteering at Sunset Beach Elementary School. She was last seen between 9:20 a.m. and 10 a.m. on April 12th, 2007, walking on Papakia Road. And right here is where we're going to start getting into the timeline from Masumi's website. Like I said, again, it is linked down below. So April 12th, 2007, Masumi was last seen on Papakia Road at about 9:20 a.m. She is reported missing that night, and the police start a missing persons case. On April 13th, 2007, a witness tells police that he confronted a man with a flashlight digging a hole near Kahana Valley around midnight. So the man leaves in a light-colored truck, but the witness notes that the license plate number and the truck and all of that, and it is identified as belonging to a Kalihi resident, and the witness later identifies the suspect as the man who was digging the hole. On the same day, another witness tells police she saw Masumi getting into I'm sorry if I pronounce this wrong, a Haloli termite and pest control truck through the driver's side door on the morning of April 12th near Alapio Road on Papakia Road. I am so sorry. I feel like I'm butchering some of these names. But the witness later says that Masumi looked confused and was not talking to the male driver. On April 14th, 2007, Halali termite and pest control officials tell detectives that the suspect was working in the Papakia area on April 12th. The suspect confirms this in a telephone conversation with police. Later that day, at the police station, the suspect denies knowing a meeting or picking up Masumi. On April 15th, 2007, police collect Masumi's hairbrush, razor, and toothbrush from her home. So on April 16th, 2007, we have a name. The suspect, Kirk Matthew Langford, is arrested at his workplace on an outstanding traffic warrant. His personal and company trucks are confiscated by police. Before he can be interviewed by police, he requests an attorney. April 17th, 2007, police find a pair of glasses in Kirk's company vehicle and blood on the right front seat and right front door panel. On April 19th, 2007, police interview her parents, who say that she's an extremely shy person and would not enter a stranger's vehicle. This is also the day she was scheduled to return home to Japan. On April 20th, 2007, tests confirmed the glasses match the prescription issued to Masumi. On April 21st, 2007, tests show that DNA on the glasses matches DNA recovered from her toothbrush. On April 26th, 2007, tests show DNA recovered from the passenger door panel matches Masumi's DNA. Kirk Langford is arrested at 4:45 p.m. at his home. On April 28th, Kirk is charged with second-degree murder, and his bail is set at $1 million, and a preliminary hearing is scheduled. On April 29th, Kirk enters his not guilty plea. On June 2nd, a vigil is held on Sunset Beach. On June 26th, her birthday, and she would have been 22. July 9th, his trial is postponed to November 2007. So his trial would have been on July 9th. On July 24th, a tip is received by HPD, and a search is started in the hills of Kahana Valley. And then we kind of jump to October. In October 10th, 2007, and I want to say between July and October, I saw something that said the search was kind of like ended pretty quickly, so I'm not sure. I could not find anything else about that. So that's kind of like why I did the jump, because that part was confusing to me. It seems like they started the search and it was ended very quickly. On October 10th, 2007, findmasumi.org, the website, was launched, which is where this information is coming from. November 5th, the trial is postponed again for February 2008. On February 20th, 2008, the trial is postponed again until March 2008. The presiding judge is Carl Sakamoto, and the prosecuting attorney is Peter Carlisle. March 4th, 2008, Kirk Lanford's trial begins. On April 12th, 2008, a memorial service for Masumi is held. And then on April 14th, 2008, a year and 2 days after she went missing, Kirk Langford is found guilty of second-degree murder. The Hawaii Parole Authority will have determined the minimum time he spends in prison, and that would be 150 years. So that is what he got. So that was a quick timeline of the case. Now we're going to go into more of like the little details that were kind of overlooked, like what was found in the truck and basically what Kirk says happened. So along with her glasses in the truck, the windshield on the passenger side was cracked, and Kirk claimed that it was from a bird. Kirk's wife stated that he left the house the evening the hole was dug and said that he was working a side job, but he returned with muddy socks. She later recanted the statement. At his 2008 trial, he said that she was deceased, Masumi was deceased, but claimed her death was an accident. He said he accidentally sideswiped her with his truck and injured her, then put her in the truck to take her home. He claims she was agitated and jumped out of the truck, and then she hit her head on a rock and died instantly. So that is what he is saying happened. He says that he panicked after and disposed of the body. He said he tried to bury her body, but that he was caught digging the grave, so he was the guy in the Kahana Valley doing this. So he dumped the body in the ocean instead. He said he didn't call rescue workers or police because he'd been previously disciplined by his job. And that was for poor driving, and he didn't want to be fired. So he sideswipes this girl, kills her, and he cares more about his job and losing this job than, the life of this girl, which is pretty fucked up. So prosecution experts say that his version of events is basically impossible. A crash recreation expert said that she would have had severe injuries if she was hit by the truck, but Kirk said that she was only scratched. The truck's side mirror and antenna were intact, and they would have been damaged if it had happened like he said. Also, no blood was found in the truck bed where he said that he put the body, and no blood was found on any rocks where she would have hit her head. Now, of course, like, they're rocks, they could have, I don't know, someone could have, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna place my bets on a year later the rocks are still there, But her parents are still trying to find her remains all these years later, but they still haven't found anything. And it's just so heartbreaking. And that is the case of Masumi Watanabe. So this one is so sad. This young girl just comes to see some distant relatives. She's just trying to visit for a little bit, and then this man does something. I definitely believe he did something. Obviously, I don't know if he did hit her with his truck, because he did have a cracked windshield. So it's like, did you accidentally hurt her? Or maybe not even accidentally. It kind of makes you wonder if, like, maybe he did hit her. A witness said that she saw Masumi getting into his truck and that she looked confused. Could he have hit her and maybe, like, she was in shock or something, you know what I'm saying? Like, had he done something else to her, hurt her in some way, and then she just kind of like was in shock or something? I don't know. We don't have her body, so we don't know if there's a chance that she could have been sexually assaulted in some way. I just don't know of another reason why this young girl would be getting into the truck of someone she doesn't know unless it was by force. And I think might be correct about throwing her body into the ocean just because all these years later it hasn't been found. And that would just be horrifying for her family to not be able to actually put her to rest. So much we don't know just because we don't have a body. And even if we did find the body, it might not tell us much. So I don't really know exactly what I think happened in this scenario, but I do think that Kirk hurt her in some way. Whether he accidentally hit her or it was by force, I do think that he hurt her and then disposed of her body. Let me know what you guys think down below. Maybe if you're from this area, you know more than me, and I would be really interested in knowing. Let me know your thoughts down below, like always. Thank you so much for listening to Masumi's story, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye, guys.